God, I beseech thee, please give me a son.
Ever since I could walk, I was already someone's mother. My earliest memory isn't a toy or a birthday, it's a baby on my hip. As the first daughter, I was given that job before I even knew what a job was. Taking care of my brothers and sisters, it was the only childhood I knew. And because of that, I always tried to do my best for them, for my family. I felt like I owed them. My parents had been praying for a son for the longest time, but God kept sending girls. My father resented my mother for it, like it was a thing she was doing to him on purpose. By the time my brothers finally came, the ninth and 10th of us, there were already 8 girls in that house. 8 girls. And I was the first. I remember the day my friend found me at the well. She lives in Lagos and is making money. She knew things I didn't. She said, I'm rotting here and I could make something out of myself. They would earn me more than a whole season on the farm. I laughed at first. Then I did the math. And I stopped laughing. Telling my parents was the hardest part.
You want to leave the
I sat them
farm,
down
leave
that
this
evening,
house?
and before my father was already shaking his head. I told him I wouldn't be suffering. I'd be earning. That what I made in 1 week there was more than what the farm gave us in a whole season. That I could still take care of them just better, from somewhere else. My mother didn't say much. She just watched me, the way she does when she's trying to decide if I'm being brave or foolish. How sure are you of this? She asked. I told her I was sure enough to try. That was all I had. Not certainty, just enough belief to ask for one chance. My father never said yes. He just stopped saying no. That silence was the closest thing to blessing I was going to get. But saying it out loud in that room was nothing compared to actually leaving. I had never been away from that house. Not for a night, not for anything. Everything I knew was inside those walls. The thought of a city I'd never seen, with no one there who knew my name, terrified me more than I let anyone see. I packed my bag the night before, and my hands wouldn't stop shaking. Not because I doubted the decision, but because I had never once in my life stood completely on my own. Amaka was already waiting for me when I got off the bus, looking so at home in all that noise, like Lagos belonged to her. She hugged me before I could even drop my bag, and just seeing a familiar face made me feel like I hadn't made a mistake coming. Her place was on the mainland, not the rich side, she made sure to say, laughing, but to me, it looked like a different life. Tiled floors, real curtains, a bed that wasn't a mat on the ground. I'd never had space like that before. Amaka disappeared most nights for work at a club and came back each morning tired, but with money in hand. She never asked me for anything, no rent, no food money, so I didn't pry. I just started cleaning, cooking, washing her clothes, doing the one thing I knew how to give. After about a month, the guilt caught up with me. My family still needed what I used to send, and here I was, comfortable, contributing nothing. So I told Amaka I needed real money of my own. That's when she told me the truth about her job and offered to introduce me to her manager. I hesitated, but I didn't have another door open. I said yes. And just like that, I had a way back to the reason I'd left home.
Sit down and look at this properly. You work the whole month, every night, every stress, and you're keeping what, 30%?
Where is this coming from, Amaka? I've been doing this since before I even got to Lagos.
I'm not saying don't help them. I'm saying you're not helping yourself.
Why is it suddenly a problem now?
You've been in this city 3 months already, doing something you said disgusted you, and you still have nothing to show for it. Nothing. Where is the sense in that?
I don't see it, because there's nothing to see. I send money home, because that's what I've always done. That's not new. Why are you making it sound like something is wrong with me?
I want you to stop slaving yourself for people who will never ask if you're okay. Have they asked you? Since you got here, has one person from that house asked how you're managing, what this work is costing you? It's not about fair, it's about true. You're killing yourself quietly, and nobody at home even knows what quiet looks like on you. I watch you come back some nights and you can barely stand, and the first thing you do is count money for them before you even sit down. And what are you to yourself?
Feels like everyone wants to tell me how to take care of my own family, except my family. I'm just tired, Amaka. I'm so tired. Tired in a way sleep doesn't fix. It's been 5 years since I've seen my family. 5 years. I don't even know what my siblings look like now. I think I need to go home. Just for a while. See them. Breathe.
I'm not trying to fight you. I just don't want to watch you disappear into this and have nothing left when it's over.
When I finally got home, it felt like a dream. 5 years, and there they all were. My mother running to meet me before I even dropped my bag. My siblings shouting my name. My father smiling in that quiet way he does when he's actually happy. For a moment, I forgot everything Lagos had cost me. But it didn't take long for the dream to crack. A few days in, I started noticing the looks, the way conversations would stop when I walked into a room, the way people smiled at me, but not with their eyes. I told myself I was imagining it. I told myself 5 years away makes anyone feel like a stranger for a while. Then Tunde asked me for money to start a business. I told him the truth, that I didn't have that kind of money to give, that most of what I made went right back into this house already. He didn't believe me.
Don't lie to
He
me.
said everyone
We all
already
know what
knew
you do in
what I
Lagos.
really did in Lagos
Everybody
to make
knows.
money. He
So
called
don't
me a
stand there and tell me
prostitute,
you don't have money.
right there, in front of everyone. I waited for someone to say something, anything. My mother looked at the ground. My father looked away. Nobody defended me. Not one person in that compound stood up and said, "That's not true." Or even just, "That's not fair." 5 years of sending everything I had home. And in that moment, I understood that none of them actually knew me at all. To them, I wasn't a daughter or a sister. I was just where the money came from. And then I found out about Ngozi, my youngest sister, 18 years old, already promised to someone. A wedding already being arranged, and nobody had told me. When I asked why, my own family said they kept it from me because they thought I'd try to stop it, not because they thought I'd be hurt to be left out, because they thought I'd be jealous. That was the moment it all became clear. I wasn't jealous. I was scared for her. Scared she was being handed off the way I'd been handed responsibility, without anyone asking her what she actually wanted. But it didn't matter what my real reason was. In their eyes, I'd already been decided. Money bag, not family, just useful. I sat with that for a long time, longer than I let anyone see, because the hardest part wasn't the accusation or even the secret. It was realizing I'd spent 5 years disappearing for people who never once looked closely enough to see me. I went back to Lagos and I fell apart the moment I saw Amaka. I just cried. Everything I'd been holding since that compound came out all at once. She didn't tell me it would be okay. She just held on and let me feel it. When I could finally speak, I told her the truth. I couldn't do this club work forever. Every month there were more girls, younger than me, and I could see exactly where this road ended if I stayed on it too long. I needed to build something that was actually mine. I told her I wanted to start a cleaning company. I already had the experience, I just needed the capital to make it real. Amaka didn't laugh at it. She believed it before I fully did. So I went back to work with a different kind of focus. Not surviving anymore, but saving on purpose, towards something with my name on it. When I finally had enough, I started small. One client, then a few more. I hired my first girl, then a second. It wasn't overnight, and it wasn't some fairy tale. But it was mine, built with my own hands, on my own terms. Somewhere in all of that, I stopped sending money the way I used to. I still sent something for food, for basic things, but I stopped going out of my way to hand over everything I had, every time they asked. My family didn't take that well. They called, they said I'd changed, that I'd abandoned them. Some of them said worse. I won't pretend it didn't hurt. But I had Amaka in my corner, reminding me why I'd made that choice, and I held on to it. My business never made me a millionaire. It didn't need to. What it gave me was something I'd never had before. A life that was actually mine to shape. I started hiring more people, trusting them to run things without me standing over every job. And for the first time, I started spending money on myself. Without guilt attached to it, I traveled. I met people who knew nothing about where I came from and liked me anyway. I even went back to school, something I never thought I'd get the chance to do. I was still the first daughter. I never stopped being that. But finally, after everything, I was also just Folake, and that was enough.